Electricity Act 2003 for Kerala PSC exam, departmental exam, in-service exam, PSC exams, UPSC exams, UGC NET exam, degree PG level exams and various other exams. Section 65. Section 65 provides that where the state government requires the grant of any subsidy to any consumer or class of consumers, it shall pay in advance and in the manner as may be specified. The amount to compensate the person affected by the grant of subsidy in such manner as the state commission may direct. Section 66. Section 66 provides that the appropriate commission shall endeavour to promote the development of a market including trading in electricity in such manner as may be specified. Section 67. Section 67 provides that a licensee, subject to the terms and conditions of his license, may carry out works inter alia as to open and break up the soil, street, railway, sewer, drain or tunnel and to all other acts necessary for transmission or supply of electricity. Section 68. Section 68 provides for installation of overhead lines with the approval of appropriate government and subject to certain conditions specified in that section. It further provides that where any tree standing or lying near an overhead line or where any structure or other object has been placed or has fallen near an overhead line subsequent to the placing of such line, the executive magistrate or authority specified by the appropriate government may on an application cause the tree or object to be removed or dealt with as he thinks fit. Section 69. Section 69 requires a licensee before laying down or placing within 10 meters of any telegraph line, any electric line, electrical plant or other works to submit a proposal to an authority to be designated by the central government in case of a new installation and to give not less than 10 days notice to the telegraph authority in case of repair, renewal or amendment of existing works, specifying the course of the work or alterations proposed, the manner in which work are to be utilized, the amount and nature of the electricity to be transmitted and the extent and the manner in which earth returns are to be used. Section 70. Section 70 deals with the constitution of the Central Electricity Authority. I repeat, Section 70. Section 70 deals with the constitution of the Central Electricity Authority. Section 71. Section 71 provides that a member of the authority shall not have any share or interest, whether in his own name or otherwise, in any company or other body corporate or an association of persons or a firm engaged in the business of generation, transmission, distribution and trading in electricity. Section 72. Section 72 provides for the appointment of the secretary, officers and employees of the authority for discharge of functions under the proposed legislation. The salary, remuneration and other terms and conditions shall be fixed by the authority in consultation with the central government. Section 73. Section 73 provides for the functions and duties of the authority. The functions inter alia shall be to advise the central government on matters relating to national electricity policy, formulate short-term and prospective plan and development of electricity system, specify the technical specification and safety standards for construction of electrical plants and electrical lines, specify the conditions for installation of meters, specify the grid standards for operation and maintenance of transmission line. This section also provides that the authority shall advise state government licensees or the generating companies on such matters which shall enable them to operate and maintain the electricity system in an improved manner, besides advising the state, central government and regulatory commission on all technical matters relating to generation, transmission and distribution of electricity. Section 74. Section 74 provides that state government licenses and generating companies shall furnish to the authority such as statistics, return or other information relating to generation, transmission, distribution and trading of electricity. Section 75. Section 75 provides that the authority shall be guided by such directions in matters of policy involving public interest as the central government may give in writing. Section 76. Section 76 provides for constitution of the Central Electricity Regulatory Commission. The Central Commission shall consist of a chairperson and 3 other members. The chairperson of Central Electricity Authority shall be ex officio member of the Central Commission. It further provides that the Central Electricity Regulatory Commission, established under Section 3 of the Electricity Regulatory Commission Act 1998, I repeat, it further provides that the Central Electricity Regulatory Commission, established under Section 3 of the Electricity Regulatory Commission Act 1998 and functioning as such immediately before the appointment date shall be deemed to be the Central Commission for the purpose of the proposed legislation, and the chairperson and members, secretary, officers and employees thereof shall be deemed to have been appointed under the proposed legislation, and they shall continue to hold office on the same terms and conditions on which they were appointed under that act. It further provides that the chairperson and members of the Central Commission shall be appointed by the central government on the recommendation of the selection committee specified in Section 78 of the Act. Section 77. Section 77 provides for the qualification for appointment of chairperson and members of the Central Commission. The members shall be persons having adequate knowledge of experience in or shown capacity in dealing with the problems relating to engineering, law, economics, commerce, finance or management, and shall be appointed so as to have one person having qualification and experience in the field of engineering with a specialization in generation, transmission and distribution of electricity, one member having qualification and experience in the field of finance, and 2 persons having qualification and experience in the field of economics, commerce, law or management. This section also provides, notwithstanding the said qualification, the central government may appoint any person as a chairperson from amongst person who is or has been a judge of Supreme Court of the Chief Justice of a High Court. Section 78. Section 78 provides for constitution of selection committee for appointment of members of the appellate tribunal and chairperson and members of the Central Commission. The selection committee shall consist of members of the Planning Commission as chairperson of the selection committee, secretary, Department of Legal Affairs, the chairman, public enterprises, selection board or chairman or managing director of any public financial institution specified in Section 4A of the Companies Act 1956 as nominated by the central government, director or head of the institution which deals with the research, technical or management institution as nominated by the central government, and secretary in charge of the ministry of the central government dealing with the power as members. The secretary in the ministry of power shall be the convener of the committee. The secretary in the ministry of power shall be the convener of the committee. It also provides inter alia that the selection committee shall recommend a panel of 2 names for every vacancy referred to it. Before recommending any person for appointment, the selection committee shall satisfy itself that such a person does not have any financial or other interest which is likely to affect prejudicially its function as member. Section 79. Section 79 lays down the functions of the Central Commission. The mandatory function inter alia shall be regulate the tariff of generating companies owned or controlled by the central government, to regulate tariff of generating companies other than those owned or controlled by the central government specified above, if such generating companies have a composite scheme for generation and sale of electricity in more than one state, to regulate the interstate transmission of electricity, to determine tariff for interstate transmission electricity, issue licenses to persons to function as transmission licensee and electricity traders with respect to their interstate operations, relating to adjudicate upon disputes involving generating companies or transmission licensees, and to refer any dispute for arbitration, to levy fees for the purposes of the Act. Section 80. Section 80 provides for the establishment of a Central Advisory Committee consisting of not more than 31 members to represent the interest of commerce, industry, consumers, non-governmental organizations, and academic and research bodies in the electricity sector. The chairperson and the member of the Central Commission shall be the ex officio chairperson and ex officio members of the Central Advisory Committee. Secretary to the Government of India in charge of Ministry or Department of the Central Government dealing with consumer affairs and public distribution shall also be ex officio members of the committee. Section 81. Section 81 provides that objects of the Central Advisory Committee shall be to advise the Central Commission on major questions of policies, matter relating to quality, continuity, and extent of service provided by the licensees, complaints by the licensees with the condition and requirement of their license, protection of the consumers' interests, and electricity supply and overall standards of performance by utilities. Section 82. Section 82 provides for the establishment of the State Commission by the state government within a period of 6 months from the appointed date. The State Electricity Regulatory Commission, established by the state government under Section 17 of the Electricity Regulatory Commission Act 1998 and functioning as such immediately before the appointment date, shall be deemed to be the State Commission for the purpose of the proposed legislation, and the chairperson and members, secretary, officers, and other employees shall be deemed to have been appointed under this Act, and they shall continue to hold office on the same terms and conditions on which they were appointed under that Act. The State Electricity Regulatory Commission, established under the provision of the Acts as listed in the schedule to the proposed legislation, shall be the State Electricity Regulatory Commission established under the proposed legislation. The State Commission shall consist of 3 members, including chairperson. The chairperson and members of the State Commission shall be appointed by the state government on the recommendations of the selection committee. Section 83. Section 83 provides for establishment of the Joint Commission by an agreement to be entered into between 2 or more governments of states or by the central government in respect of 1 or more union territories and 1 or more government of states or union territories. The agreement referred above shall contain provisions inter alia as to the name of the Joint Commission, the manner in which the participating state may be associated in the selection of chairperson and members, the expenditure in connection with the Joint Commission, and also contain other supplemental, incidental, and consequential provisions. The Joint Commission shall consist of as many members as the number of participating states or union territories. The Joint Commission shall determine tariff for participating states or union territories separately and independently. Section 84. Section 84 provides for qualification for appointment of members of State Commission. The members shall be persons of ability, integrity, and standing who have adequate knowledge of and have shown capacity in dealing with the problems relating to engineering, finance, commerce, economics, law, or management. Section 85. Section 85 provides for constitution of selection committee consisting of a person who is or has been a High Court judge as chairperson, Chief Secretary of the State, and the chairperson or a member of the Central Electricity Authority as members. This section also provides inter alia that the selection committee shall recommend a panel of 2 names for every vacancy referred to it. Before recommending any person for appointment, the selection committee shall satisfy itself that such a person does not have any financial or other interest which is likely to affect prejudicially its function as member. Section 86. Section 86 lays down the functions of the State Commission. The mandatory functions inter alia are to promote cogeneration and generation of electricity from renewable sources of energy by providing suitable measures for connectivity with the grid and the sale of electricity to any person, and also specify for purchase of electricity from such sources a percentage of the total consumption of electricity in the area of a distribution licensee, to specify by regulations the terms and conditions for determination of tariff for supply, transmission and wheeling of electricity within the state, to regulate electricity purchase and procurement process of distribution licenses, including the price at which the electricity shall be procured, to facilitate intrastate transmission and wheeling of electricity, to issue licenses to persons seeking to act as distribution licensees, transmission licensee, and electricity traders, to adjudicate upon dispute and the differences between the licensees and generating companies, and refer any dispute for arbitration, to levy fees for the purpose of the proposed legislation. Section 87. Section 87 provides for the establishment of State Advisory Committee consisting of not more than 21 members to represent the interest of commerce, industry, transport, agriculture, labor, consumers, non-governmental organization, academic and research bodies in the electricity sector. The chairperson of the State Commission shall be the ex officio chairperson of the State Advisory Committee, and the members of that commission and secretary to the state government in charge of the ministry or department dealing with the consumers' affairs and public distribution system shall be members of the committee. Section 88. Section 88 provides that the objects of the State Advisory Committee shall be to advise the State Commission on major questions of policy, matters relating to quality, continuity, and extent of service provided by the licensees, compliances by licensees with the conditions and requirements of their license, protection of consumer interest and electricity supply, and overall standards of performance by utilities. Section 89. Section 89 provides for the term of office, salary and allowance and other conditions or service of chairperson and members of the appropriate commission. This section inter alia provides that the chairperson or other members shall hold office for a term of 3 years and shall be eligible for reappointment of another term of 3 years, but shall not hold office as such after he has attained the age of 65 years. A member shall, before entering upon his office, make and subscribe to an oath of office and secretary in such form and in such manner as may be prescribed by the appropriate government. This section inter alia also provides that any member ceasing to hold office shall be ineligible for further employment under the central government or any state government for a period of 2 years from the date he ceases to hold such office, and also not accept any commercial employment for 2 years. Section 90. Section 90 provides for removal of members of the Central and State Commission. I repeat, Section 90. Section 90 provides for removal of members of the Central and State Commission. It provides that the central government in the case of a member of Central Commission and the state government of the state in the case of State Commission may be ordered remove from office any member if he A. has been adjudged insolvent, B. has been convicted of an offence involving moral turpitude. C. Has become physically or mentally incapable of acting as a member. D. Has acquired such financial or other interest as is likely to affect prejudicially his function as a member. E. Has so abused his position as to render his continuance in office prejudicial to the public interest. Or F. Has been guilty of proved misbehavior. No member of the Central Commission, including the chairperson, shall be removed from office on the grounds mentioned in D, E, and F above, unless the chairperson of the appellate tribunal has carried out an investigation and forwarded report to the central government, who may remove from office the chairperson or member of the Central Commission. No member of the State Commission, including chairperson, shall be removed from office on the grounds mentioned in D, E, and F above, until chairperson of the appellate tribunal has carried out an investigation and forwarded report to the state government, who may remove from office the chairperson or member of the central government. Question number 91. Section 91 contains provisions regarding the appointment of the secretary, staff, officers, and consultants of the appropriate commission. Approval of the appropriate government is required for determining the number, nature, and category of posts for the appropriate commission. Section 92. Section 92 contains provisions relating to the proceedings of the appropriate commission. The appropriate commission shall have power to frame the regulations for the conduct of their proceedings. This section provides inter alia that all matters before the appropriate commission shall be decided by a majority, and in case of equality of votes, the chairman shall have a casting vote. Section 94. Section 94 lays down the powers of the appropriate commission. The commission shall have powers as are vested in civil code under the Code of Civil Procedure 1908 in respect of inter alia, summoning and enforcing the attendance of any witness, discovery and production of document, reception of evidence on affidavits, etc. Section 95. Section 95 provides that all the proceedings before the appropriate commission shall be deemed to the judicial proceedings within the meaning of Section 193 and 228 of the Indian Penal Code, and the appropriate commission shall be deemed to be civil court for the purpose of Section 345 and 346 of the Code of Criminal Procedure 1973. Section 96. Section 96 provides for the powers of entry and seizure by the appropriate commission. It provides that the appropriate commission or any officer not below the rank of a gazetted officer, specially authorized in his behalf by the commission, shall have the powers to enter any building or place and also seize any documents or extracts or copies there from, subject to the provisions of Section 100 of the Code of Criminal Procedure 1973. Section 97. Section 97 envisages that the appropriate commission may by general or special order in writing delegates to any members, secretary, officers of the appropriate commission or any other person, subject to such conditions as may be specified in the order, confers such of its powers and functions, except the power to settle disputes under Section 79 and 86, and powers to make regulations under Section 178 and 181 as it may deem necessary. Section 98. Section 98 provides that Section 98 provides that the central government, after due appropriation made by Parliament by law, make to the Central Commission grants and loans. Section 99. Section 99 contains provisions for the establishment and operations of the Central Electricity Regulatory Commission funded by the central government. Section 100. Section 100 enacts for maintenance by Central Commission proper accounts and other relevant records in the prescribed form and in consultation with the Controller and Auditor General of India. It also provides that the accounts of the Central Commission shall be audited by the Controller and Auditor General of India or any person appointed by him. The accounts as certified by the Controller and Auditor General shall be forwarded annually to the central government for the purpose of laying before each House of Parliament. Section 101. Section 101 provides that the Central Commission shall prepare annual report in the prescribed form, giving a summary of its activities during the previous year and forward the same to the central government for the purpose of laying before each House of Parliament. Section 102. Section 102 provides that the state government, after due appropriation by law made by legislature of state, make to the state commission grants and loans. Section 103. Section 103 contains provisions for the establishment and operations of the State Electricity Regulatory Commission Fund by the state government. Section 104. Section 104 provides for maintenance by State Commission of proper accounts and other relevant records in the prescribed form and in consultation with the Comptroller and Auditor General of India. It is also inter alia provides that the accounts of the State Commission shall be audited by the Comptroller and Auditor General of India or any person appointed by him. The accounts as certified by the Comptroller and Auditor General of India shall be forwarded annually to the state government for the purpose of laying before state legislature. Section 105. Section 105 provides that the State Commission shall prepare annual report in the prescribed form, giving summary of its activities during the previous year and forward the same to the state government for the purpose of laying before legislature. Section 106. Section 106 provides that the appropriate commission shall prepare its budget in such a form as may be prescribed, showing the estimated receipt and expenditure of that commission and forward the same to the appropriate government. Section 107. Section 107 seeks to confer power upon the central government to issue directions in writing to the Central Commission on questions of policy, and that commission shall be bound by such directions. If any question arises as to whether such direction relates to a matter of policy involving public interest, the decision of the central government shall be final. Section 108. Section 108 seeks to confer power upon the state government to issue directions in writing to the State Commission on questions of policy, and the Commission shall be bound by such directions. If any question arises as to whether such direction relate to a matter of policy involving public interest, the decision of the state government shall be final. Section 109. Section 109 provides for a special provision relating to giving directions where any joint commission has been established. It further provides that the government of the state for which the joint commission is established shall be competent to give any direction under the proposed legislation only when any matter falls within exclusive territorial jurisdiction of that state. In case the directions relates to a matter falling within the territorial jurisdiction of two or more states or pertaining to a union territory, the central government alone shall be competent to give any direction under the proposed legislation. Section 110. Section 110 provides for establishment of an appellate tribunal by the central government to hear appeals against the orders of adjudicating officer or the appropriate commission. Section 111. Section 111 provides that any person aggrieved by an order of adjudicating officer or the appropriate commission may prefer an appeal before the appellate tribunal within 45 days from the date on which a copy of the order made by adjudicating officer or the appropriate commission was received by the aggrieved person, subject to condonation by the appellate tribunal. The appeal filed before the appellate tribunal shall be dealt with by it as expeditiously as possible, an endeavor shall be made by it to dispose of the appeal finally within 180 days from the date of receipt of the appeal. Section 112. Section 112 provides for the composition of appellate tribunal. It provides that appellate tribunal shall consist of a chairperson and such number of members not exceeding 3 as the central government may deem fit. It also provides inter alia that the jurisdiction can be exercised by benches to be constituted by the chairperson of the appellate tribunal. See Section 113. Section 113 provides for qualifications for appointment of chairman and members of appellate tribunal. It provides that a person shall not be qualified for appointment as chairperson of appellate tribunal unless he is or has been a judge of the Supreme Court or Chief Justice of a High Court. It further provides inter alia that the members of the appellate tribunal shall appointed by the central government on the recommendation of the selection committee referred to in section 78. Section 114. Section 114 provides for the terms of office of chairperson and the members of appellate tribunal. It provides the term of 3 years within a further provision of reappointment for a second term of the 3 years. No chairperson of the appellate tribunal shall hold office if he has attained the age of 70 years, and no member shall hold office after he has attained the age of 65 years. Section 115. Section 115 provides for terms and conditions of service of the chairperson and members of the appellate tribunal. It provides that the terms and conditions of service shall be prescribed by the central government. The salary and allowance and terms and conditions of service shall not be varied to the disadvantage of chairperson or members after appointment. Section 116. Section 116 provides that in case of vacancy, the central government shall appoint another person in accordance with the provisions of the proposed legislation to fill the vacancy, and proceedings may be continued from the state at which vacancy is filled. Section 117. Section 117 provides for the resignation and removal of chairperson or members of the appellate tribunal. It provides that chairperson or member may resign office by notice in writing to the central government. It also provides that a chairperson or a member of the appellate tribunal shall not be removed from his office except by an order of the central government on the ground of proved misbehavior or incapacity after an inquiry. I repeat, it also provides that a chairperson or a member of the appellate tribunal shall not be removed from his office except by an order of the central government on the ground of proved misbehavior or incapacity after an inquiry made by a judge of the Supreme Court as the central government may appoint for his purpose. Thank you.